afternoon, everyone. Myself, I'm Santosh from Mechanical Department, and my topic name is Drift and Diffusion. Introduction to the drift and diffusion. Drift and diffusion are the fundamental process describe the movement of particle in a variation system. The estimated concept in field like physics, chemistry, biology, and fictional modelings. Understanding this process helps explaining phenomena such as heat transform and stock functionalities. What is a drift? Let us discuss about the drift. What is drift? Drift refers to the systematical direction movement of a particle under the influence of external forces. It causes particle to move constantly in particular direction in over a time. Example includes semester transport by water current or ionic moving under an electrical field. Let us discuss about the diffusion. What is a diffusion? Diffusion describes the random, spontaneous speeding of a particle from the region of the high concentration to the lower concentration region. It results to form the thermal motion particle at the micro level. This process is responsible for the fixing substances and establishing the equilibrium in the same system. Mathematical description of the drift. Drift velocity is often modeled as proportional to apply the forces or field following the relations. Here, here represents the mobility is the external electric field of the forces. The drift concept had as determining of particle over a momentum. Mathematical description for the diffusion. Diffusion is described mathematical by the friction law, which reflects related flux to the concentration gradient. Friction law states that the diffusion flux is promoted to the negative gradient of the concentration. The drift coefficient particles spread throughout the media. The combining the drift and diffusion models. In many systems, both drift and diffusion influence the particle movement similarly. That means drift and diffusion are particles move in the same but in similar directions. The total flux is sum of the drift flux and the diffusion flux is difference. The result behavior can be modeled within the diffusion equation A from the Fokker-Planck constant. The combination of the different model is completed. Let us discuss the example in the nature and technology. In biology, ions move across the cell membrane via both diffusion and drift under the electrical potential. In semiconductor device, charges carriers experience drift due to electrical field and diffusion caused by the concentration gradients. Environment pollution described through the diffusion is transformed by a wind or water current. That are drift and diffusion are included in the nature and technologically. Same in biology, ions move across a cell membrane, same as in diffusion and drift. Application to the drift and diffusion. Understanding this process as designing better drugs, delivery system and medicine dialogist. The drift and diffusion are used in the medical dialysis system also and drugs delivery system. They are crucial model fixing the market where stocks picks exhibiting drift and diffusion behavior. Engineering usual drift diffusion principle to improve the semiconductor fabric and sensor technology. Experimental technical measurements. Techniques like traces experiment help virtual and quality diffusion and the drift in a variation medium. Particle in the variation can be measured for the velocity combined to the drift. The velocity contributes the drift. Data analysis of including solving different equations exactly diffusion coefficient of the drift velocity. Data analysis after involving the solving different equation to exactly diffusion coefficient for the that means drift coefficient to the drift velocity. Velocity. Summary and further directions. Drift and diffusion are key understanding the many natures and engineering system involving the particle momentum. Advance in complementing models continue to improve our abilities to simulate completely drift and diffusion phenomena. Ongoing research aims at exploring this role emerging field like challenge cinematics and scientific.